Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the new JRIS65 R2. This keyboard is going to start at a price range of $155 and the group buy starts in late May. Now the differences aren't crazy, but they do have some nice ones that I'm really happy about. So first off, the GST cable has been extended so it's easier to connect your PCB to the keyboard. They upgraded the material and finish of the screws, so I'm guessing the screws are just stronger so they don't strip easier. They added a 1.6mm non-flex cut hot swap PCB, which in my opinion is great because I do not like flex cuts in my PCB, and the fact that it is a standard 1.6mm PCB is great as well. Now they also made the pour-on case foam to also be not flex cut, so that is great to see, and the plates have been upgraded for better ISO support compatibility. Now there is plenty of new color options as well. The one I have here today is kind of an old color, but I thought it looked super nice and I went with the off-white colorway because it pairs perfectly with the keycaps that I had in mind, and I went for a mirror weight. Inside the box you get the keyboard itself, the foam, the gaskets. You get two types of gaskets. I prefer the smaller ones because they have a more deeper sound signature, I guess, and the longer ones are more for clackier builds. So if you did want to go a clackier build, I would suggest the longer gaskets. Now the PCB is great, I'm really happy that it's not flex cut, and they also include all the screws and stuff you will need. But the thing that they do not include in this kit, which I was kind of sad about and I didn't realize until after the fact, was the fact that it did not come with any stabilizers. So I picked up some Cherry clip-in stabilizers off of Amazon, and that is what I'm going to be using. The plate unfortunately does have flex cuts, but the one I have here today is a palm plate, and if you wanted something else when you go to buy this keyboard, you can choose from a variety of different plate options, so you don't have to get palm if you don't want to. The keyboard itself, when it comes to the finish, is nice, but I will say I already did get some stripping of color when I was unscrewing the keyboard top half. So if you notice right here in the parts where the screw is, the case kind of rubbed off the color when it comes to the top case, and you can see the silver under. I know they upgraded the material and finish of the screws, but I think they also should have upgraded the material and finish of the keyboard case itself to not have this issue. Now the keyboard itself is beautiful. I think the back of the keyboard and just the looks of it overall are very nice, and the smoothness of the keyboard is quite nice as well. It's not something like the Zoom keyboards where it's on a rougher texture. This one has a nice smoother finish similar to the JRIS65. When it comes to building, I don't like using PE foam, but it does come with it. So the only foams I'm going to be using are plate foam and case foam. And then the switches I'm going to be using are the Akko CS piano switches because I've been really loving them so far. So that is what I'm going to be using. And then when it comes to the keycap set, I'm going to be using the Spellbook keycap set from Novel Keys. I think this keycap set pairs very nicely with this colorway, and the overall purple accents will look very nice as well. The build process is quite simple. All you have to do is unscrew the top part of the keyboard. Now I would be very careful when doing this because like I said, the color did rub off on mine. Maybe this is just a pre-production unit and that won't happen in the final version, but it is something to keep in mind. Once you have the top half off, you can put the gaskets of your choosing on the PCB. It's not on the plate. Then you can put your case foam and PE foam if you wanted to as well, and then the plate as well. The plate doesn't have any screws on it, so what I do recommend is putting your switches into the plate and PCB before installing the top part of the case onto the keyboard. So once you have all your switches inside your keyboard, all you have to do is reassemble the keyboard and then put on your keycaps. I was quite surprised on how nice this keyboard sounded, but I will say there is some slight adjustments that I'd probably recommend. Here's a quick sound test of how it sounds once I finish building it. So yeah, like I said, it does sound amazing when it comes to the alphas and stuff like that, but what I did notice is the top row and bottom row kind of sound very hollow for some reason, even though the case foam is there. They do include a tape mod for you, so maybe that would help, but I'm just quite confused on why the four corners of this keyboard kind of sound a lot hollower than the rest of the keyboard does. When it comes to the flex on this keyboard, there isn't much of it, even though it is a gasket mounted board. But the good thing about gasket mount keyboard is their main purpose is to have an even typing experience all across the keyboard. And when it comes to the typing experience, well, it is definitely even across the board. You just don't get a lot of flex. Obviously, if you remove some foams, like the case foam, you can increase the amount of flex in your keyboard to your liking. Besides the problem I had with the four corners of the keyboard, and then the finish on the keyboard itself rubbing off when I was unscrewing and screwing in the keyboard, I think it looks great and sounds great despite those two minor issues, and I wouldn't feel bad recommending it to people that really wanted a new beautiful budget keyboard to check out. I'll be leaving a link to the group buy when it goes live in the description below, and I'll also be leaving a link to their Discord and GeekHack thread if you want to find out more information. Other than that, let me know what you guys think about the JRIS65 in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.